I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
No one expected the courtroom to go silent like that. It was supposed to be just another heated custody hearing. Teyana Taylor and Imans Response battling it out over visitation rights for their daughter, Junys. But when the judge asked the little girl one simple question, who do you feel safest with? Nobody saw that answer coming. Not her mom, not the judge, and especially not her father. With eyes full of quiet emotion, Junys whispered the name that left the room breathless. Aaron. Gasps. Shock. Frozen faces. It was like a bomb had gone off in slow motion. Teyana's ex sat back, stunned. His lawyer leaned forward like she'd misheard. And Teyana? She didn't move. Her face didn't crack. But if you looked close enough, you could see it. The faintest flicker of heartbreak, pride, and disbelief all rolled into one. Because this wasn't just a child choosing a favorite adult. This was Junys choosing her peace. To understand how we got here, you have to go back. Back to when the divorce between Teyana and Imans first turned ugly. There had been cheating rumors, public spats, leaked messages, all of it. But through everything, Teyana fought to keep her kids protected. She never trashed Imans publicly. She wanted peace. She wanted balance. She wanted her daughter to have both parents in her life. But things didn't stay calm for long. Junys' name started trending a few months ago when a voice note allegedly leaked, just a small child's voice, barely above a whisper, telling her mom she didn't want to stay with dad anymore. Said she felt scared. Said sometimes there was yelling. Said she felt unsafe. The audio was heartbreaking. Fans were stunned. Critics were skeptical. But for Teyana, there was no room for debate. Teyana pulled her daughter close. She made no dramatic posts. No interviews. Just actions. She quietly reduced Imans' visitation. She surrounded Junys with love, with therapy, with calm. And somewhere in that process, Aaron Pierre entered the picture. Aaron wasn't a flashy rebound. He wasn't tabloid material. He was quiet, soft-spoken, and respectful. Fans first noticed him when he showed up in the background of one of Junys' dance recital clips. Then again, holding her coat at a museum. Then walking beside Teyana at a community event, with Junys holding his hand. Whispers turned into questions. Was Aaron stepping into a father figure role? Was he just a friend? A protector? An ally? Whatever he was, Junys clearly trusted him. Sources close to the family say she started calling him AP, a nickname she gave him herself. And it wasn't just about his presence. It was about how he made her feel. Teyana, being cautious, didn't say much. But insiders say Aaron showed up for the little things. Parent-teacher nights. Late-night fever runs.
Story time.
He wasn't trying to replace anyone just to be there when needed. And slowly, Junys began to heal. Meanwhile, Imans stayed on the sidelines. Every once in a while, he'd post old photos with Junys, reminiscing about their bond. But he never addressed the safety concerns. Never spoke directly about the accusations. Instead, he leaned into denial. To him, this was all drama.
Noise.
An ex trying to turn his daughter against him. But the silence said more than words ever could. The custody fight escalated when Teyana officially requested full custody. She cited emotional instability, safety concerns. Her legal team filed detailed documentation, dates, journals, video evidence. Still, it wasn't an easy case. The court had to be sure, which is why the judge made a rare request, a private conversation with Junys. No cameras, no lawyers, just the truth. What happened in that room was never supposed to come out, but people talk. And in the age of social media, nothing stays private. A court clerk, speaking anonymously, leaked what happened. The judge had asked Junys how she felt at home, who she felt safest with, who she wanted to be with. And her answer? Aaron. She didn't even pause. The internet exploded. People were divided. Some praised Junys for having the strength to speak up. Others blamed Teyana for letting her child get too close to another man. But those closest to the situation knew this wasn't manipulation. This was survival. Junys wasn't just picking a favorite. She was choosing peace over chaos, stability over tension. Imans' response was as expected. He was livid. Sources say he stormed out of the courtroom. He later claimed Junys had been coached, that Aaron was manipulating the situation, that Teyana had poisoned his daughter against him. But the truth is, Junys' behavior had changed long before that hearing. Teachers noticed she was more relaxed, less anxious, more expressive. Her drawings stopped being dark. She smiled more. She danced again. That didn't happen overnight. And it didn't happen because of manipulation. It happened because she felt safe. Aaron kept his distance from the drama. When asked by reporters, he said nothing. When posts trended about him being the real dad, he ignored them. But one day after the courtroom bombshell, he posted a photo. It was Junys painting on a canvas, her curls wild, her face glowing. He captioned it, "Peace is her birthright." Nothing more. And that post? It said everything. Teyana, too, didn't say much. She posted a single sentence on her story. "I listen to my child. Always." And fans backed her up. Celebs dropped likes. Influencers spoke out. The hashtag Junys chose peace hashtag flooded timelines. And the message was loud and clear: kids know. Kids feel everything. And when they speak, you better listen. Still, the fight wasn't over. Imans filed a motion to appeal, claimed parental alienation, claimed Aaron was interfering. But the court saw through it. They ordered an evaluation, not just of Imans, but of Junys. And what the psychologist found backed up everything Teyana had been saying all along. Junys had been exhibiting signs of anxiety after visits with her father. She felt afraid of being yelled at. She didn't know how to process his moods. She said she loved him, but she felt nervous around him. And most damning of all, she said she had nightmares after sleepovers at his place. The psychologist's recommendation? Gradual reintroduction, under supervision. The final hearing was short. The judge granted Teyana full custody. Imans would have supervised visits, pending progress reports. And Aaron? He wasn't given any legal rights. But the judge commended his presence, said he was a stable adult influence during a period of uncertainty. In legal terms, that was as close to a thank you as he'd get. When news broke, Imans went live on Instagram. He looked tired, defensive. He said, "I ain't lose my daughter. I'm still her dad. Don't get it twisted." But the comments weren't buying it. Most people had already made up their minds. Silence in the face of a child's fear is a choice. And Imans had made his. Meanwhile, Aaron and Teyana didn't say much. They didn't celebrate. They just moved forward, kept showing up, kept creating normal. For Junys, this wasn't about drama. It was about feeling safe, feeling heard, feeling like her voice mattered. The internet wouldn't let it go. The timeline pulsed with opinions, predictions, and dreamy declarations. Some said this was the beginning of something beautiful, that Aaron wasn't just a father figure, he was going to become the father legally. That one day, he'd officially adopt Junys. Others whispered about rings, wedding bells, and a fresh start for Teyana. A love story rising from the ashes. But Teyana didn't give any of it attention. She didn't stoke the fire. Instead, she posted a quiet moment. Junys at the piano, her tiny fingers stumbling over the keys, while Teyana laughed loudly in the background. The caption was simple, sharp, and full of intention. This is her real life, not headlines. No drama, no subtext, just truth. Still, even without a statement, one thing became undeniably clear. Aaron wasn't just passing through. He wasn't temporary. He was rooted now, part of the landscape. And Junys? She made her choice, not out of pressure or manipulation, but from something pure. In a room crowded with adults locked in a tug-of-war over her heart, he was the one who stepped back and let her breathe, who didn't force her to pick sides. who made sure she didn't feel like a possession being pulled from one corner to another. With him, she didn't feel caught in the middle. She felt held. And look, there's no fairy tale ending here. There's no magical fix. Co-parenting still comes with its messy chapters. Court orders shift like weather. Emotions swell and crash without warning. But right now, in this moment, Junys' world is still. Her laughter rings through hallways again. Her nights come with peace instead of tension. Her home feels like home. And that quiet stability, that's the real win. That's the moment Teyana fought for, not with lawyers or public takedowns, but with presence, with patience, with unwavering belief in her daughter's voice. She didn't drag her ex through the mud. She didn't turn Junie into a headline. She didn't perform her pain. She simply listened. She observed. She protected. And when the time came, when it mattered most, she chose to believe her child. Not because it was convenient, but because it was right. Because love, real love, doesn't hinge on DNA or last names. It's measured in actions, in consistency, in protection, in the quiet way someone shows up again and again, no spotlight needed. And for Junie, that person was Aaron, not because he demanded that role, but because he earned it. In every small moment, in every hard conversation, in every space where she needed someone, and he simply showed up. So if this courtroom twist revealed anything, it's this. Children always know who's real. They may not understand everything happening around them, but they feel it. They feel who listens, who calms the chaos, who loves them in ways that never need to be explained. And in a world full of noise, TikToks, think pieces, and clashing narratives, sometimes the quietest voice is the one telling the absolute truth. And Junie? She said it in the softest whisper. A whisper that somehow thundered louder than every trending topic. I feel safe with Aaron. And really, what else matters more than that?